Imagine looking at your business bank account right now, and you're $7,000 in the red.
Ouch.
Yeah, right. You are operating from a sheer deficit. The pressure is on, the clock is ticking, and the margins are just completely non-existent.
Which is incredibly stressful.
Oh, absolutely. But now, fast forward a bit. It's crazy, and that is the actual documented trajectory of AI strategist Andy Hand. And he didn't do it by, working 100-hour weeks or hiring this massive team.
Right.
He did it by entirely rethinking how humans talk to machines. So today, we are opening up his exact playbook. It's a platform called AI Novitas, and we're going to uncover how you can leverage over 1,000 pre-built, professionally crafted prompts to automate the heavy lifting and, potentially scale a solo business to massive heights.
Yeah, and the critical shift here, the thing you really have to understand is moving away from this mainstream idea that AI is just like a highly advanced chatbot you casually talk to.
It's an intern or something.
Exactly. Everyone has access to AI now, right? You can open a browser and query a neural network for free, but access does not equal leverage.
That's a great way to put it.
To build an AI prompt business, making tens of thousands of dollars a month, you have to treat language as a rigid programming tool.
Right.
It's the difference between asking a machine for a favor and writing the precise code to command a specific outcome.
Yeah, it's like you're moving from treating AI like a brainstorming buddy to treating it like a compiler executing code. And the sources we have from AI Novitas make a very bold claim about this.
Oh, they definitely do.
They say that to achieve that kind of 10x growth, you cannot be sitting at your desk playing guessing games. The old way is basically typing in, make me a picture of a cyberpunk Megacity lion, and just hoping the AI gives you something usable.
Because hope isn't a strategy, especially when you're generating hundreds of assets for a client campaign.
Exactly.
If you are guessing, you are wasting time. And time is the ultimate bottleneck for a solo operator. So to build a true engine of growth, you have to systematize the prompting process itself. Our sources highlight these codeless tools, specifically prompt generators like the AI Prompt Forge and a highly structured journey prompt generator.
So let's drill down into the mechanics of that generator, because the structure it demands completely blew my mind.
It's intense.
It is. It forces you to abandon conversational English entirely. You have to use the strict 7-part framework.
Right, so let's break that down.
Yeah, so first you define the keyword.
Okay, simple enough.
Second, an in-depth depiction of the subject. Third is the environment or setting.
Got it.
Fourth is the mood or atmosphere. Fifth, the artistic format, so specifying if it's a 3D render, a vector graphic, or photography. Sixth is the execution style, detailing the camera lens, the lighting setup, render engine. And seventh, the technical parameters.
And those technical parameters, that is really where the true control happens.
Yeah.
The instructions for this generator explicitly state that when writing those parameters, you must use exact syntax.
Right.
Things like defining the aspect ratio with --AR 16:9. Or dictating the chaos level, or setting a specific seed number.
Okay, but I want to push back on this rigidity for a second.
Sure.
Specifically, the rules around punctuation. The sources say you must never place commas inside parameter expressions, and you absolutely cannot use colons.
Correct.
But wait, it's a natural language model. It's trained on billions of parameters of human speech. Why would a simple comma break it?
I know, it sounds...
Shouldn't it be smart enough to parse basic punctuation?
Well, it seems totally counterintuitive until you look at how these generative models parse data under the hood. They don't read sentences the way you and I do.
Okay.
They process tokens and assign mathematical weights to them. A comma acts as like a soft break for token weighting.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it tells the parser to separate visual concepts. But a double hyphen tells the system's backend, hey, this is an absolute system command, not just a descriptive word.
I see.
You aren't talking to the natural language parser anymore. You're talking directly to the underlying render engine.
Man, that completely changes the framing. Think of a basic conversational prompt as a flashlight in a dark room. It illuminates a general area, but the edges are incredibly blurry.
That's a great analogy.
Right. But this 7-part framework is like a laser scalpel. By locking down the aspect ratio and format with exact command line syntax, you cut away the AI's ability to just guess.
Exactly. Which is how you eliminate AI hallucinations.
Yes.
When you just describe something naturally and leave gaps in the lighting or whatever, the model mathematically fills in the blanks with the highest probability noise.
Which is how you end up with 7 fingers on a hand.
Yes. Or bizarre shadows. Or a modern street lamp is a medieval fantasy setting. By rigidly enforcing those 7 parts, you set the absolute bounds of the generation.
And the sources highlight another structural trick to enforce those bounds, right? Wrapping heavily weighted terms in triple parentheses.
Oh, yeah.
Keyword.
Yeah. So 3 open brackets, the word, and 3 closing brackets.
That is just another method of manipulating the underlying math.
Okay.
Like if you need the neon sign in that cyberpunk image to be the absolute focal point, completely overshadowing the lion itself, you isolate it with those brackets.
Oh, wow.
It forces the attention mechanism of the model to prioritize those specific tokens. It ensures the mathematical weight of that word dominates the diffusion process.
But hold on. Figuring out the camera angles, the render engines, the token weighting, all these brackets, it takes like 20 minutes per image.
It's tedious.
Yeah. If I have to manually write all that out, I haven't really saved any time at all.
And that is exactly where the AI Prompt Forge comes in.
Okay. It automates that entire complex 7-part flow. You just enter the subject like cyberpunk Megacity lion, and the tool translates that basic idea into the massive paragraph of machine code that the image generator perfectly understands.
Wait, so you literally just type the subject and it generates the rest?
Completely automates it. It acts as an automated translator between your creative intent and the machine's technical requirements.
That's incredible.
It is. If you are generating a massive volume of assets, that automation is the difference between a highly profitable workflow and a total operational bottleneck.
Okay, I see that. But relying on those heavily coded prompts introduces a brand new problem.
How so?
Well, once you realize how complex a perfect prompt actually is, these dense paragraphs of perfectly formatted text, it becomes glaringly obvious that you cannot keep them in a Google Doc.
Oh, absolutely not. Unstructured data is the enemy of scale.
Precisely. If you're trying to keep track of thousands of these intricate strings of code in like a messy notes app on your phone, you're going to lose your mind trying to find the one you need.
Yeah, the friction alone just ruins the workflow.
Exactly. And this brings us to a really fascinating part of the strategy: the delivery method and the professional infrastructure. The sources point out that the 1,000+ prompts in the Everything bundle and the Mega Prompts database aren't delivered as some static PDF.
No, that would be useless.
Right. They are housed entirely within Airtable.
Which fundamentally changes the utility of those assets.
Yeah.
Airtable isn't just a spreadsheet, it's a relational database.
Yeah.
It gives you smart search, advanced filters, tagging systems, multiple visual layouts like grid views or Kanban boards.
I'll be honest, I originally thought a dedicated database for prompts was kind of overkill. Like, why not just use a structured Notion page?
Right.
But looking at the sources, the ability to duplicate the entire base directly into your own Airtable account changes it from a reference sheet into an actual software tool.
Yes, it becomes a living, breathing ecosystem. And let's look at the operational impact of that.
Let's do it.
If you have 10,000 brilliant ideas written on sticky notes, you don't have a business strategy. You have a mess.
A huge mess.
But by porting these professionally crafted, ready-to-use prompts into Airtable, you transform abstract data into an instantly searchable inventory.
It feels less like opening a notebook and more like opening a hiring directory for specialized AI agents. You just pull the exact expert you need right off the shelf.
That is the perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Because imagine you are building this solo agency making tens of thousands of dollars a month, right?
Okay.
On Monday, you land a client who needs a deep SEO content audit. On Tuesday, a lifestyle brand needs AI influencer images. On Wednesday, an e-commerce site needs cinematic product photography.
Right, you're juggling a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you do not have the time to invent those complex workflows from scratch for every single client.
So you just open Airtable, filter the tags by cinematic product photography, and the perfectly engineered cheat code is sitting right there, ready to be copied and pasted.
Completely plug and play.
It's brilliant. And this isn't just theory either. The sources include a review from a customer named James Calcutta, who explicitly calls out the value of this infrastructure.
Oh, yeah.
He wrote, "Guy is a total legend. It's the little things that he provides that make huge differences. He saved me so much wasted time, and now I have everything I need. Top guy, top prompts."
And that phrase right there is the linchpin of the whole system.
Yeah.
Saved me so much wasted time.
Yeah.
Because in a solo business, time is your hard ceiling. You can only work so many hours. But utilizing a professional infrastructure like Airtable, complete with prompts ready for immediate use, you're basically buying back hours every single day.
You completely remove the friction of searching, formatting, and testing.
Exactly.
So the Airtable infrastructure manages the assets. Frameworks handle the visual output. but stunning, photorealistic images of futuristic lions don't automatically build massive monthly revenue.
Definitely not.
To actually hit the numbers Andy Hand achieved, we have to move beyond generating cool images and dive into high-level business logic.
Because beautiful visuals are just assets. Strategy is what actually drives revenue.
And that's where the ChatGPT prompt genius section of the source material comes in. We are moving into architectural business planning now. There is a specific prompt detailed in the sources called the SEO Senior Strategist, and it is an absolute masterclass in role assignment prompting.
Role assignment is so crucial. It sets the context window for the large language model. You aren't just saying, hey, write a blog post.
Right.
The prompt explicitly commands, assume the role of a senior SEO strategist overseeing a large team of experts. You specialize in developing strategies that consistently secure top page 1 Google rankings.
Wow.
Yeah, by establishing that persona, you constrain the AI to pull from its training data related to high-level SEO strategy rather than just spitting out generic marketing advice.
But the constraints don't stop at the persona. You demand the output in a very specific tabular format. You require a comprehensive 6-month strategy broken down month by month. And for every single month, the AI has to provide focus areas for technical SEO, on-page SEO, and off-page SEO.
That is extremely detailed.
It gets better. It has to list the exact software tools required to execute the tasks and generate variation keyword clusters.
See, by forcing a tabular format, you prevent the LLM from generating those generic sweeping paragraphs.
Yeah.
You force it to compartmentalize its data retrieval.
Right, which drastically improves the logical structure and depth of the output.
Exactly.
And then below that table, the prompt instructs the AI to make a second table with 20 article ideas, including counterintuitive titles, summaries, and target keywords.
Oh, nice.
But where the prompts get incredibly technical is in the actual content generation phase.
Okay, let's get into that.
The sources specifically mention prompting the AI to balance perplexity and burstiness and to use things like colloquialisms and dangling modifiers to pass AI detection.
This is such a cool concept.
Let's demystify that a bit, because perplexity and burstiness sounds like really heavy linguistic jargon. What do those terms actually mean in the context of an LLM?
Sure, so it's a fascinating look into how language models construct sentences. AI models operate on probability, right? They naturally want to predict the most statistically likely next word.
Okay, makes sense.
But that mathematically safe approach results in very uniform, kind of monotonous blocks of text with low variation. It sounds robotic.
Right.
So burstiness refers to the variation in sentence length and structure. Humans naturally write with high burstiness. We might write a really long, complex, rambling sentence that explores a deep concept, followed by a short one.
Like that?
Exactly. We vary our rhythm. By explicitly prompting the AI for high burstiness, you're forcing it out of its mathematical comfort zone to mimic the uneven rhythm of human thought.
I love that. And what about perplexity?
Perplexity is a measure of how predictable the text is. Low perplexity means the word choices are obvious and totally expected. High perplexity means the vocabulary choices are less obvious, more surprising, and, more nuanced.
So adding instructions to include colloquialisms or dangling modifiers, which are technically grammatical errors, adds a layer of human imperfection.
Exactly. Automated AI detectors look for perfect, robotic uniformity to flag text.
Ah.
By engineering the prompt to include a dangling modifier, you are fundamentally programming the AI to bypass its own mechanical nature. You are replicating the output of a specialized human team down to their sentence rhythm and minor grammatical quirks.
That's wild. You're no longer generating text. You are basically engineering human-like communication at scale.
Yes.
And this comprehensive approach ties perfectly into the Latin motto that Andy Hand uses for AI Novitas. Cogita, crea, evolver, think, create, evolve.
It functions as the operational blueprint for the whole business, really.
Yeah. Think is deploying the AI as your senior strategist to map out that complex 6-month tabular SEO plan. Create is executing the ultimate content writer prompts, leveraging that burstiness and perplexity to write the human-sounding deliverables, paired with syntax for the bespoke imagery.
And evolve represents the final layer of scale. The sources mention codeless automation tools, like NAN.
Oh, right.
These tools act as the connective tissue. You can use NAN to connect your Airtable database directly to the AI models, automating the entire pipeline.
Wow.
So a single person, armed with these master-level prompts and automation logic, can literally replicate the daily output of an entire digital marketing department.
And that is how you build a business making tens of thousands of dollars a month.
Exactly.
If you're a solo consultant, you can walk into a local business and instantly deploy a 6-month, highly technical SEO and content strategy that completely outpaces their competitors.
Because the local competitor is probably, manually writing one blog post a week and struggling to make their website mobile friendly.
Right. While you are managing a fleet of AI agents doing technical SEO and generating cinematic ad campaigns simultaneously.
You aren't selling the client a clever AI trick. You are selling them market dominance within their 10-mile radius.
Ooh.
It really is the new technological dawn referred to in the source text. The tools provide the leverage, but the prompts provide the direction.
So let's trace the arc of what we've unpacked here today, because the shift in perspective is just massive.
It really is.
We started by discarding the idea that AI is just a chatbot you converse with. We examined the architectural brilliance of the framework, how replacing natural language with exact syntax, double hyphens, and triple parentheses acts as a laser scalpel to control the render engine and eliminate hallucinations.
And from there, we established that managing a massive library of these highly coded prompts requires a living, relational database. Relying on unstructured data creates friction, but utilizing Airtable turns raw prompts into an instantly deployable workforce, allowing you to pull the exact workflow you need at a moment's notice.
And finally, we decoded the mechanics behind high-level business strategy prompts. By understanding and manipulating underlying LLM functions like token weights, burstiness, and perplexity, a single operator can bypass the robotic nature of AI, orchestrating a sophisticated digital marketing agency capable of scaling revenue to incredible heights.
Yeah. And as you consider how to apply this, keep in mind that the specific models will inevitably change.
Sure.
The sources note that this landscape is constantly shifting, with rapid updates to tools like Sora 2, VO3, Kling, Flux, and Leonardo AI Phoenix. The underlying technology will continue to evolve at a breakneck pace.
Absolutely.
However, the foundational logic remains constant. The true competitive advantage doesn't lie in the model itself. It belongs to the person who possesses the most rigorously organized, deeply understood library of instructions to command whichever tool happens to be state-of-the-art today.
Which leaves a final, lingering question to ponder as we wrap up this deep dive. We spent this time breaking down how to perfectly engineer these intricate, mathematically constrained cheat codes to bridge the gap between human intent and machine execution. We've explored the necessity of rigid syntax to prevent the AI from guessing. But as these AI models grow increasingly intuitive, capable of interpreting our messy, unformatted thoughts with near-perfect accuracy, will there come a day when prompt engineering itself becomes an obsolete skill?
That's a great question.
Or will mastering this deep structural language always be the hidden key to unlocking a machine's true potential? Something to think about as you build your own systems.